then for the discussion board this week, we had to look at a bunch of professional websites, some of which I've looked at before in previous classes. Some of them I haven't, so it's pretty interesting to look. And the first thing that I noticed with all the services and resources that they provided, a lot of them had the similar like layout of what they provided, but it was just more specific to that area, like college counseling specifically versus like just national board certifications, like MBCC, things like that. But they all pretty much had like find a counselor type resources, like if you're in the area looking for someone or you're trying to find someone with the proper credentials, they have that set up for you on most of them. Resources for counselors and for the public, which kind of goes off of finding a counselor. You can go to a lot of these websites and as a counselor and be able to get resources like newsletters and links to professional journals, research articles, those kinds of things. Continuing education credits. There's a lot of stuff about what you need to do and how to track them. It can help track them for you, especially which has to do with whether it's an organization like ACA, then you have membership renewal and everything too, versus like certification renewal, things like MBCC and stuff like that. You have to keep up on those websites for that. They have exam info, like for us students, they had a lot of stuff for us students. Insurance info, specialty certifications, all those things were very interesting to me. And then specifically to me, what I found interesting in my personal predicament as a student was on the MBCC website, they had like instructions basically for how to begin the application process as a graduate student for the certification before you even graduate. So you can kind of get a head start on it. Like, you're going to graduate this date, so you can go ahead and start setting up and getting ready for that certification, which is great because that's time saving, and they're obviously want you to get certified and they want you to continue on and get started and get quickly and get out in the field. So that makes me feel happy that they have that option available. Seems a little bit less stressful. And then in addition to that, for students, they also had like NCE study guides and a lot of scholarship opportunities too, which I've heard some of them about on the MBCC website before, so I still need to look into those. So that was a good reminder that I need to do that. And then I looked at the previous schedule for the 2016 conference that was held earlier this year, back in February, and I was looking at the schedule compared to other conferences I've been to too. It seemed pretty much the same. Like, there's speakers set up for like an hour or more all throughout the day. It was 3 days long. It was like a Wednesday, a Thursday, and a Friday, which I thought was very interesting and that was just this year. And I thought it was interesting that they basically expect you to take off work to come to these. I thought that was kind of funny. But they had very interesting topics for presentations and speakers, like finger paint as therapy. Obviously that's directed towards like child therapy and stuff, but it's very interesting. I would have liked to hear that one. They also had very specific to like Asperger's and other disorders. They had therapy, counseling related information for those, as well as like topics that were very specific to North Carolina, which makes sense because it's a North Carolina conference. But it was interesting to, or it would be interesting to hear people talk about their experiences locally, not just on a national board, basically. And one of the biggest things and I could see myself getting involved in if I went to the 2017 conference, because I assume it's going to be set up pretty much the same as 2016, that they have a networking lunches, and I think that is a phenomenal idea, especially for students. I mean, we're not in the profession yet. We don't have anything really to maybe necessarily contribute to the people we're networking with, but for us, it would be great to get out there and get our name known and to make connections, especially in somewhere local like North Carolina. If you're planning on staying and working in North Carolina, making those connections. North Carolina is a very big state. You never know where you're going to end up. You never know what jobs might fall through. You never know where you might go next. It's always good to have people kind of under your belt and on your side. And I thought that would be very important for students, all students, not just me, to take part of. So that's a little bit about what I thought, and I look forward to hearing what you guys thought too.